Hello, and welcome to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. This is a show where we discuss how you can find, figure, fund, fix, and flip a foreclosure deal and the mindset, technology, and tools required to become a successful real estate investor. Hey, this is going to be a great show. The market is starting to heat up. Showing traffic is starting to increase. How do you, as a real estate investor, benefit from the increase in traffic that's coming down the pike right now? We're going to discuss that on today's show. You're going to love it. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. I am your host, Donny Coram, and this is the show where we discuss how investors just like you can find, figure, fund, fix, and flip a deal with the Foreclosure Profit System, my cutting edge system allowing common investors, people just getting started, to actively start doing 3 to 4 foreclosure flip deals a year, making an average profit of $25,000 or more. You can do it. I'm certain of it. You just got to get the right mindset, the right tactics, and the right tools to become a successful foreclosure investor. Let's hop right in with our mindset piece of the week. This week, we're going to chat with Mr. Warren Buffett. He discusses how it's important, let's just share the screen here, I'll let you see it, to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. What did Warren mean by that? Well, generally speaking, when people are trying to capitalize on the get-rich-quick nature of the market, that is the time when you need to be most concerned about the marketplace. And I'll give you an example. When we were flipping in our best year in 2020, we did 40 flips. In 21, we did 47 flips. And in 22, we managed to get to 45 flips. We were on the way to do 60 flips that year, but interest rates went crazy, as everybody probably remembers, late in 22, about second quarter. In 22, they massively increased interest rates, sending the market into a bit of a tailspin. Okay, well, what did Warren mean by be fearful when others are greedy? Well, when the market is propelling itself at that rate, you got to remember this time, if you can flash back, we had a ton of people who were buying properties for over asking price, right? Meaning they were actually paying above the value of the property with this thing we called appraisal gaps. And I remember doing shows where I explained to people, this is the antithesis, if you will, of buying a deal. It's the absolute opposite of buying a deal in that you're overpaying based on what the appraisals telling you it's worth. You're actually paying 15, 20, 30 grand over asking price, and people are having to bring money from their life savings to cover their down payment on their home because the market was going so crazy. Well, this was a really good time, believe it or not, to be fearful because there's a bunch of greed in the market at that point. A lot of people were buying up the inventory because if you knew you could sell the property for $30,000 more than the appraised value, obviously a lot of money to be made. That leads to a lot of greed that took place in the marketplace. Greed is not necessarily a bad thing, okay? We're not beating greed up as a negative thing. Just understand what Warren was trying to tell us is to be concerned when there's a lot of speculators heading to the market because it's showing signs of life to that degree where people are super excited about the future prospects of it, which didn't make a ton of sense to the local market. There needed to be a lot more fear in the market than there were. And as always, things that go way up like that came down at a rapid pace. So what does the investor do when the market's going crazy like that? Well, listen, you got to get in where you fit in. You just need to be more concerned about what the market's going to do next. You can't plan on long-term speculation holding the market for long periods of time. You have to know that it's going to be a short window and you want to play short ball as much as you can. Get in and get out. Here we are on the opposite side of that marketplace. Where is the market today? Well, if we're talking about being greedy when those are fearful, you should also you need to look at that from that perspective. If you're greedy now, this is a good time for you to use greed to your advantage, because as it stands today, the entire market has a certain dose of fear attached to it. That fear is coming from the fact at least for my clients, okay, that the retail market has definitely taken some major, massive hits in the last couple of weeks. And I'd love to hear if you're in the retail market as an agent or an investor, you got a property in the market, comment below. This is live. If you're watching it live right now, comment below and tell me how you're feeling about the market. But I think the general consensus we're going to hear is that there's a lot of fear in the market. So this is the time to get greedy. Meaning, if you're going to do a deal, you want to do a deal right now. And I'll tell you this much, we are finding much better deals than we have seen in the last 2 years because the wholesale market, driven by people who are out looking for distressed sellers, they don't have buyers for these properties. So the numbers on wholesale have been pushed distinctly downwards in the last couple of months. The opportunities in the real estate market have simply not been better than they are right now for a very, very long time. So once again, let's get your mind right here. When people are fearful, as the market is filled with right now, Warren Buffett, one of the most powerful investors in the world, says now is the time to become greedy because the market's conducive, because the fear is very high. So you've got to look for opportunities more carefully. You've got to do your due diligence more carefully. And most importantly, this is a great time to invest in a system that's worked out a lot of the daily kinks of doing a real estate deal for you, so you can step in, buy a deal usually within 30 days, get it fixed in 4 to 6 weeks, average time in construction, and then get it on the market, where the big unknown right now is what the days on market is going to be. Well, to mitigate some of that risk, what we're doing now is what we're affectionately calling the blow and go concept. And what it means to you is we're going to do a minimal remodel on these properties. We're going to inspect the property for any issues that are definitely going to come on inspection. If it's got a bad furnace or the roof is bad or it needs windows, etc., anything that's going to affect the functionality of the home, we are definitely taking care of, because it's going to come back on inspection anyway, and because we don't want to sell a bad product to our end user. Nobody feels good about selling crappy flips to unknowing consumers. That's not the objective. But we're going to do the systems first and foremost, and then we're going to look at what the budget allows for to fix the cosmetics. Paint and flooring are two of the most obvious things you can do, and paint and flooring make up 80% of the surfaces of the home. So if you bang out paint and flooring right out of the gate, you're 80% better than you were before. And now you have to start looking at the other things, the cabinets, the countertops, the appliances, the tile in the bathrooms, and etc. But instead of looking at it from the perspective of we got to fix everything, which was the mindset, okay? It was the mindset when the market was in 20 and 21 and even into 22 that we had to build Taj Mahal level remodels. Why? Because we were selling at the top of the market and beyond. And the consumer that was willing to overpay by $20,000, $30,000 was happy to do it as long as the house was in tip-top shape. So we adjusted our remodeling budget to make sure we could provide homes in tip-top shape to the best of our ability. Here we are in a different market than we were before. In this market, the focus has got to be on what's the bare minimum you can do to the property, so then you can list it on the market for 3 to 5% below what you actually believe you can get for it, allowing you to still make a profit because you're not spending all that on the remodel anymore, but you're also discounting the property a little bit so the retail consumer gets the best value on the home. That's the tactic of today, the blow and go concept. And it's very hard for investors who are used to seeing that Taj Mahal remodel concept that I call, where we touched every surface, everything got new tile and new paint and new vanities across the board. When you've been doing that for a long period of time, it's very hard to adjust your mindset. Okay, so the tools we're going to talk about today are the deal check analysis software, because it's critical to be able to see what sold in your marketplace. And you can use multiple tools for that. MLS comps work, right? You can use Privy to do that. But today we're going to talk a little bit more about deal check, because on deal check, you're able to locate these deals. And then when you're doing the analysis on the deals, you can now look at what sold, that sold at the top of the market. And with a couple of button clicks, you can actually see what sold. Let me give you some examples here, okay? We're going to hop into the property, hop into deal check right now. And I'm running an analysis on a property we're looking at buying on Serendipity. Okay, we're under contract for this right now. So we're in the process of closing on this deal. Okay, we hop into the Serendipity analysis. Let me find it here. Here we go. All All right. And then we're going to cruise on down. We're just going to skip right to the sales comps and ARV. So here we are in sales comps and ARV. We're looking for similar homes, right? Similar homes in this case, where we have a 4-bedroom, 1.5-bath property with 2,059 square feet. Okay, so we want to see what's selling at the top of the market so we know where we can potentially discount our property to get it into a range that's easier to sell. We look at the top of the market out of the gate, and you see here While Away. While Away is 4-bedroom, 2-bath. We're only 1.5 baths, so we don't quite have that exact spec, but it's close enough for this analysis we're doing. Was While Away an amazing property? Did they put a lot of money into the remodel? Let's check it out. Look at these pictures here, okay? It's got a fresh new coat of paint. It's got flooring. The cabinets are oak. They're not completely updated or brand new, but they're nice. It's got a backsplash, etc., right? So we're looking at this, and we're going, upgraded, pretty heavily upgraded, right? If we can get to this condition or slightly less, the property could potentially sell for 460 grand because this one in the same neighborhood did. Now, this is where it gets interesting. What if you could offer a lot of the same cosmetic features, or maybe a couple less on the cosmetic features, and still sell this property for 430 or 435? Right, 25 grand off of what we know retail condition could get. And what if we could do that by just doing the carpet and the paint? Okay, well, if you were buying this property for $330,000, which is what we're selling to our investor for on this deal, okay, and you put $50,000 in it to get it Taj Mahal level, you did everything, and then you sold it for 450, 460, that'd be a great deal. But the market's a little soft right now. So my advice is going to be on this deal, buy it for that same 330, spend 15 to 20,000 now doing the carpet, the paint, and any of the major items that are definitely going to come up on inspection. Now we're in at 360 and we're getting out at 430. Okay, on the original example, we spent 330 plus 50,000 a remodel to get to 380 with the potential to get to 460, but the days on market was going to be much longer. That would be in that scenario. I hope you're hanging on with me here. You'd be in at 380, getting out at 460, best case scenario, right? Leaving you with an $80,000 spread. We generally agree to split that spread with the investors in the capacity of the expenses. So you've got your hard money costs, right? You've got your agent fees, and I'm not talking about splitting it with the program. You as a foreclosure profit system member keep all the profit on the deal, but you have partners, and those partners include your cost of funds, the agent that helps you sell the property, the closing costs the buyer's going to ask for, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when you split that gross number, you're left with 40 grand in profit. Not a bad day at the office if you start at 80 grand gross and end up at 40,000 net profit. That's a great day, right? However, that remodel is going to take you comfortably 6 to 8 weeks because you got to do all these things to the property. You got to get it done in the winter. There's a lot of things that are slower during that time. So you may end up pushing 8 to 10 weeks on this thing if you have some overages. And you made an 80K spread divided by 2 or 40 grand. Let's go to that same property you buy for 330. Okay, you now spend 20,000, and let's be generous, and we spend 25,000, and we get this thing done fast, blow and go. We paint it, we floor it real quick. We maybe do the tile in the bathroom surround. It takes us 3 to 4 days to get a tile job done, but we spend about 20 to 25K to get this property into tip-top, reasonably marketed condition. Okay, and now we're into it for 350, and we are selling it now for 435. Your days on the market is going to come down drastically because instead of waiting for top of market pricing, which could easily have you on the market for 30 to 90 days, given the slowness of the market today, now you're priced at a number that can get this property sold in 30 days or less because you are priced 5 to 8% below what that house is actually worth in today's market. As a result of that, you have an 85K gross spread. So your gross spread actually went wider. Where were we? We were at 330 plus 25, right? And we're going to sell it for 435. So we're leaving 80K in the same gross, but we have less time on market. We have less in holding costs and et cetera. So you should get to keep more than 50%, but you're making the same basic $40,000 in profit on the deal, but you're getting it done in 90 days or less total total time of ownership as opposed to 6 months, making it more profitable to do less. And the consumer, the end buyer, is happier because the consumer that's in the market right now is value shopping. They want to find deals. Like we're selling my clients deals, so they buy a house, they buy a deal, not a house, but then we want to offer a deal to the end consumer who's looking to buy a property that they don't want to overpay for because interest rates are high. And a smart consumer is worried that the market is too high and that prices are going to come down, which is preventing some buyers from entering the market right now for fear that the housing market's going to collapse and they're going to be upside down in their property. If you price it below market to begin with, guys, you dispel those fears, you lower the buyer's payment every single month, which they're going to appreciate because everything costs more. Eggs are pushing $8 right now. Milk's $5-6 a gallon, right? It's a tough time to live. So that shaving of maybe $200-300 off of that homeowner's house payment, if you can do that, they're going to appreciate that because it's money in the pocket that they can spend on other things they now have to consider in their day-to-day budgeting. Okay, so this is an incredible opportunity for investors to hop in the market. And now that activity is starting to turn around, we're going to be electing a new president, inaugurating a new president in 4 days. Okay, and a lot of people are on standby as to what the economy is going to do when that takes place. Well, you got to get your mind right. First step is the mindset. Okay, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. The market is afraid right now. Get greedy because now is the time to start doing deals and capitalize because as they slowly trickle back into the market, even though people are afraid, that fear can be utilized in a lot of ways by investors to provide a great product to the consumer at a lower price than they would have paid for it 6 to 12 months ago, right? That has all the basic amenities that they need. And now all they have to do is compare if I'm going to rent a house or an apartment, right? For the same price, I could potentially buy this property for, but I get a garage and a backyard, a place for the dogs to play. I'm maybe in the right school district, etc. If I can get all those amenities and my payment is at or below what I might pay to rent a very similar property, then this becomes a no-brainer for consumer, and that's what's going to bring buyers back into the marketplace. So this blow and go concept is not revolutionary. Okay, I was doing this back in 2007 and 2008 when the market had crashed and things were not moving very quickly. We figured out by doing very basic remodels and selling the property for slightly below market, we could keep ourselves top of mind for potential consumers who simply want to be in this neighborhood because their kids go to school there. They don't want to pay rent and throw their money away, right? But they can't afford the Taj Mahal level remodeled house, right? They can't get the one that's been fully spec'd out that became so popular in 2020, 21, and 22. The market has shifted. We have to shift to adapt to that change. Okay. And in doing so, we provide ourselves an opportunity to make the same spread we would have made on a fully gut job remodel, but doing it in half the time so we can do more deals per year, ultimately profiting more 25,000 or more profit on deals by simply leveraging the fact the market has changed. The dynamics are different than they were before. What an awesome opportunity. If you want to talk more about that, okay, if you're interested in figuring out if the foreclosure profit system is the right fit for you, and I'll tell you up front, we don't accept everybody into the program. Over the last couple of years of doing this, we've realized what the ideal client avatar looks like, but I'll give you some secrets to the application if you want to get in, okay? First of all, you got to head out to foreclosureprofitsystem.com to go ahead and fill out the application. That's the application page, gets you started there, and then we will hop on a call. After we hop on a call, make sure you seem like you're the right fit and that we can work together. Then we are going to have you watch a webinar where I go into intricate detail on how the entire system works, how we find deals for my clients, how we analyze those deals in our figure stage, how we get those deals funded. I'm a hard money lender myself, so I can help you to get the funding that you need to do the deal. Then we fix those deals with my project management team, getting the property ready for market quickly now, and then we flip the property with my in-house agent who offers a substantial discount to my clients to get the property on the market, so you're not burning all of your profit on agent fees, ultimately resulting in you making a $25,000 more profit as often as you want to do so using the foreclosure profit system. It truly is a no-brainer. And I know when people hear about this, there's always that too good to be true angle to it. I get that. I totally get that. Listen, take a leap of faith here in 2025. The market's shifting. You can get out in front of it. And I got to be honest with you, courtesy of our marketing channels, Diamond Home Buyers, 719sell.com, we're not having any trouble finding deals right now. They're everywhere. The issue is that because there's so much fear in the market, it's very difficult to get the newbie investor to understand that now is the time, this is the place, and you can get in and start making a profit immediately with the foreclosure profit system. Also, if you're just getting started in deal analysis, you're trying to figure out how to, do your deal analysis, check out fdcdealcheck.com. That gets you access to Deal Check. You get a 20% discount on Deal Check to help you do your deal analysis quickly and cost effectively. Lenders love this. I got to tell you, as a lender, when you bring in a Deal Check analysis, it shows me a couple things about you: that you're a serious investor, number one, that you've done your homework, and that you're the type of person we can put money behind to help you do as many deals as you want to do using this system. Okay, so get Deal Check now. Check out the foreclosure profit system, and let's do some 2025. What do you say? It's going to be a great year for investors. I'm certain of it. You got to get involved. Take the first step. Head out, subscribe to the system. Let's see if we can get you into doing some deals. With that, this is Donny Coram, your foreclosure deals coach, thanking you so much for tuning into the show and reminding you now and always, don't buy a house, buy a deal.